Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tears Tulle Talk, a podcast that's dedicated to highlighting women who are showing up from the messy times in life to reconnect with their magic. I am so excited to have with us today Ariel Griglin, and I would love you, Ariel, to say hello. Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everyone. Yes, I am a health and fitness coach, personal trainer. I've been in this industry for 8 years now. I help women repair their metabolism, reverse chronic disease like diabetes, hypothyroidism. And, I was exposed to health at a really young age. I'm not sure how far you want me to go here, but both of my parents were diagnosed with life-threatening illnesses when I was in middle school. So very early on, I was in hospitals with them, and me and my brother would get picked up from school. We'd go sit in the hospital, and very early I realized this is not what I want for the rest of my life. So started diving into changes of my health with mindset practices and nutritional practices, and then as a young athlete, that furthered me into bodybuilding and this career of personal training.
Yeah, that's awesome. We've known each other for quite a while now, and I've sort of been following your career as it's, blossoming out into the world. And you and I connected with rainbows, and we were on a trip together where someone needed help. And I remember you you had them down on the floor and you were just right there. And it was like your heart was just connecting with what they needed at the time.
Yeah.
And I admire that about you, that what you see is what you get. Like, you genuinely show up for people. And I've had the honor of being able to spend time with you and connect with you. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. This is great.
Oh, awesome. So we start every show out with a Tears Tulle moment. And in this community, we call those the even when, especially then moments of life. And for those of you who might just be listening for the first time today, what we do is we say something that we like about ourselves or something positive, and then we say even when, and then we give an example of something, a detour or something unexpected in life that happens, and then we end it with especially then. It can be funny or wise, or it could be really anything that is your Tears Tulle moment. So for example, I might say, I am still brave even when I'm afraid of the sound the crescent roll tube makes when I pop it open, especially then. So it can really just be like anything. So I would love to hear what yours is at this point in your life today.
I've got one in my head. It's pretty short to the point, but I'll say, I am strong even when I feel weak.
Yes.
Especially when I feel weak.
Especially then. And you say short, but I am feeling how important that is for us to remember, because I think we can sometimes be like our own worst critic, or get down on ourselves about things. So just having that simple little saying, I think, is so powerful. So thank you for sharing it.
Yeah, if I could just elaborate a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
In my career of just moving the body, building stronger biceps, stronger quads, just a stronger physical body, it's really easy to say, even I am strong even when I feel weak. If I'm working with a client and they're pushing out more weight and they're feeling weak, but they hit a new record and they realize, I could do it, I'm stronger than I thought I was. And then I've journeyed through life and realized that can be so much deeper. And if I go back 3 years ago, my life was in turmoil from death and divorce and all kinds of things. And I realized that strength is not just from our physical body, and it's not just from how heavy of a bicep curl can you do. Life will pull us, and we'll feel like we're getting beat up and knocked around. And even in those times, I am committed to feeling strong.
That's amazing. When I share your quote on the website, I might have to add some bicep curls in there and do what you said, because that's amazing. Very cool. Thank you for giving us a little glance at what that meant for you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So I think it's a special episode because you just had the rainbow tulle skirt. Like you just had it last week. Um, it arrived, you got right to it. You went out and did a photo shoot. And it was unique because of the produce and all these cool things that you kind of added into your story. So I would love to hear what your experience was like from the time it arrived at your house to the time that you shipped it off to the next participant.
All right. Well, first I'll just say before the skirt arrived, I don't know how many months, it was always popping in the back of my head, like, okay, I got to get my plans together for when the skirt arrives. And I thought I would have Norma, the photographer, with me, and that didn't work out. And I ended up last minute having a friend do it for me. So anyways, the skirt arrived and, it's in this box. I've heard some of the other girls share the same thing, and you pull it out and it like springs out. It's massive. It's huge. So I spent probably like a whole afternoon just letting it hang and admiring it and spritzing it and, kind of de-wrinkling it and trying to make everything so perfect. And I think the day of the photo shoot,
This is perfect. Hang on, I'm going to have you pause right now because on the Tears and Tulle Talk podcast episode, we totally invite all of the interesting tears and tulle moments. So I'm always saying when the landscapers come, when the dogs bark, it's amazing. It's all part of us. So hello, puppy.
That is Zeus. That is my puppy. He sounds really big. He's not a huge dog. He was a part of it. So let me just tell everyone, I didn't think I would be sharing this. He sheds like crazy. So when the skirt arrived, it's huge. Like I'm having to hold it way over my head so it doesn't touch the ground. And my biggest anxiety was like, oh my gosh, I can't get any dog hair on this skirt. I have to keep it really high. You can't go near it. So there's your intro to Zeus.
That's awesome. And you're not alone. There's been dog hair on that skirt, I promise you. So it's seen some.
I see that it picks a lot of things up.
It does.
So I'm spending this afternoon like stretching it and, trying to make everything perfect. And once I found out that my friend Sky was going to take the photos for me, her and I went back and forth on quite a few different locations where we wanted to do it. And, I think as women, we have this, do I say innate? A lot of us as women just want things to be perfect, especially when we're wanting things to be beautiful and look nice, right? So I had that need for everything to be perfect. Where is it going to be? The photos have to turn out perfect. So long story short, we went to Bednar's, which is a local farmer's market. And we weren't sure if we were going to start there, if we were going to travel around, if we were going to stop at multiple places. And it was just so simple, like so fun and so easy. Like my worries about, the wrinkles in the skirt, no problem. My worries about our location, no problem. Worries about how long it was going to take, no problem. Like none of that even existed. So it was like getting in the skirt, it was so much fun. So yes, we were in front of produce. We started outside the store. And I'm so inspired by the beauty that Mother Earth gives us. So to be there, juggling oranges was great. And people are coming by and they're taking photos and they were asking us about it. And actually, this is a good thing to share with everyone. My girlfriend Sky, who was taking the photos, she, I guess, coined a term. She said, "You look like the fairy vegetable queen."
I saw that in your one of the hashtags. I was like, I love that she just shared this with me.
So that's thanks to my friend Sky who took the photos. And I said, I'm going to keep that. I like that title, Fairy Vegetable Queen.
I love it too. It's very fitting.
Yeah. But I guess I'm kind of going in circles here. I will backtrack a bit to the morning of, as I was preparing to meet her, I had my friend Wendy do my makeup that day. it was just such a feeling of just being humbled. Um, that's really what it was. And I know the meaning behind the black and the rainbows. It's just, I guess I spent the morning contemplating that and really being present with the lesson that this has to share. And I think that so frequently it's easy to get caught up in day-to-day life and activities and being better and being more and this and that. And it was a moment to just pause and realize, like, even in the challenges and even in those times of feeling weak, and even when, things aren't going perfect and business isn't going as planned, it's a part of the rainbow. So
Yes.
it just humbled. It was the perfect way that I could describe that morning as I was getting ready.
And your photos, like so many, all of us, either someone delivers our groceries or we go and we get our own groceries, but all of us have to do this grocery shopping at some point.
Mhm.
And to see that sort of slowed down, because sometimes it can feel like we're so busy, we have to go do that, or we're not really looking at the colors of the vegetables or the fruits, or just how we feel when we see them. And to see your pictures, of you just sort of going around to all these different sections of the store and connecting with those colors and those fruits and veggies and everything, it just really, it reminded me a little bit of what people have been going through for the pandemic, slowing down, this idea of slowing down. And then through your photos, I just watched you. I could imagine you being there. It was almost like flipping through. It's like a video almost of you going through at different sections. And then you ended up outside, I think. And, um, it just, I think anyone looking at them is just kind of slowed down into that space with you. Um, so I'm curious how you felt like in all those different poses. We've got the strong woman, and sort of the curious woman, and we have all these different, um, you know, parts of you that were coming out, your personality through each scene that we got to watch, from the pictures that you shared. So I'd love to know your feelings about that.
Yeah, interesting perspective to hear you looking at the photos and seeing it in that slowed down reality. But how I felt when we were taking the photos, I think at first it's a little like awkward. Okay, how are we going to ease into these photos? Like, I feel kind of silly. I'm not a model. This isn't something I do on a regular basis. And Sky was great. Like, she just had so much fun with it. And we just kind of laughed at each other, and it was very candid. So the photos that I did end up sending you, they were just, um, I guess, just what came of the playfulness as we journeyed through. So we did start in front of the store with all the produce, and then we went inside, playing through the aisles and everything. And then we decided to go outside, and that's when I wanted to bring my fitness equipment. We'll do some flexing photos. And I had no idea. I knew we were in like an artsy neighborhood in town, but I had no idea they had those murals on the side of the building. And so we walked out the side of the store, and I was like, oh my gosh, like they had all of this produce painted on the building. So it was so great just to get that variety. We were outdoors, the sun was shining. It was great. Um, it was fun. I don't know what else to say. It was just fun and fantasy like and simple. But one other thing that I will share about the experience, and Jane, I texted you at this point because later that night, the same day, I came home, the skirt's off, I washed all my makeup off, I'm back in normal life. Got the TV on, and I think all of us, whether you're catching this recording or not, we can agree our world is in crazy times with the pandemic and politically speaking. And I was watching this segment on the news, and it was a segment specifically dedicated to those that had lost their lives from COVID. And it was a segment just talking about grief. And again, that feeling of just humbleness came to me. And it was like a moment of honoring our grief, whether it's those that have lost someone due to the virus, or those that have lost their businesses due to the virus, or anything else not related to COVID. So again, it was just that moment, that night, as I'm like writing my story and I'm typing things out about the skirt, I'm hearing this message about grief and about honoring grief and allowing it. And you know, this like wave of emotion just kind of washes over me.
Yes, I was I can't remember if that was a listening text or a reading one. I love that you mix them up. Sometimes I get a little text with the words, and then sometimes I get to hear what you're saying. But yeah, that, you know, there's such a contrast with the tears in the tool, you know, like, and it's not like, you know, we're just going to get somewhere with this, you know, this virus, or we're just going to get somewhere and everything is going to be okay. Like there's always going to be some type of tears moments in our lives and in the life of the country. You know, that's just part of being a human being on this planet, and how we live here, you know. And so I was delighted to get that text from you. It was sad and beautiful, you know, that you were connecting with that. So I'm grateful that you shared it with me. And the essay portion, the text portion of what you shared with your photos, I think so many of us could relate to what you were going through, what you were feeling. And also that, you know, slowing down, I think, to feel that humble part of, you know, how all of our stories are sort of connected. So thank you. Do you want to say anything about what you wrote?
I guess the first line that's coming to me was how I opened it, and I said that the skirt is the perfect representation of walking life, walking the full spectrum of life experiences.
Yeah.
So when we look at the spectrum, there's the good, the bad, the ugly, the grief, the sorrow, the courageous, the weak, the silly, the embarrassment, like all of that. And yes, it's human nature to just want to be like the pretty and the strong and the successful. But in that, we are negating other aspects of the spectrum, other aspects of who we are as humans. So I think that line just came to me. It's the spectrum of life, and a moment to just realize it's all okay and we can experience all of it.
Yeah. That's one of the things I like about you too, that when I did travel with you and have spent some time with you, you do seem to be open to what's happening at that moment in your life, you know, and just sort of absorbing it and reflecting on it. And I think there's so much wisdom in that. So I appreciate the time we spent together, and I can't believe we're almost at time right now. It's gone so fast. I would love for you to tell people how they can find you. Where are you online? What do you have going on right now that you might want to share? Let us hear all about it.
Yes. Okay. So if you are listening to this and you are thinking, you know what, I know that I can be better. I can be better in my heart. I can be better in my physical body. I might feel sluggish, or you may be someone that takes a medication on a daily basis for a chronic condition. Like I said, diabetes, hypothyroidism, high blood pressure. Please reach out to me. I would be honored to support you in reversing that, bringing you to your best version. You can find me at arielgriglin.com. Should I spell that out?
Yeah, you can.
ArielGriglin.com. You can find me on Facebook, Ariel Griglin, or Instagram, Ariel_Griglin as well.
Yes, and if you go to her social media pages, you will find all kinds of fun and colorful pictures. I personally love the juices and the smoothies and stuff that you post. I'm like, oh, it makes me want to go make one. So, gosh, thank you for spending time with us today and for saying yes to this project and connecting with my dream and bringing your own magic, you know, to this movement. I'm honored, I'm grateful, and I appreciate you.
Thank you. And if there's just one last thing that I want to share with everyone, I remember when I got home from the photo shoot, I pulled into my driveway and it was just, like that was just such a fun day. And it dawned on me, like, what a beautiful movement that Gina wore this skirt. She likely experienced something very similar of just fun and fantasy and magic, and had this thought, I want to share this experience with the world. I want other women to feel what I felt. And it hit me that moment that I completed it, like, so beautiful. So thank you, Gina, for
Oh,
so appreciate it.
thank you. I'm honored to hear that, and I'm accepting it and feeling it in my heart. So thank you very much. It was great to see you.
Great to see you too.